I'm Llama Gucci from Ashijima's farm and you're watching Disney Channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is posted on the 25th, so Merry Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas. So this is the third part of the bokuaka series. When making this I tried my best to make it as canonically accurate as I could, since I know how important this ship is to people. I will be inserting pics of the scenes that I was inspired by to make this video in the end, so look out if you're done with the manga or skip it if they might be spoilers for you. I had fun writing this, but I definitely made it more dramatic than it was supposed to be, haha. Anyways, on to a more exciting news. We finally have a Discord server for this channel. And that's all thanks to Daniel. His Discord is. Special thanks to these people for helping me out. They really worked hard on it and I couldn't be more happier. Also, we finally hit 10k subscribers. Like what? I'm literally in tears. Thank you guys so much. I love you all so much and I hope to not disappoint. I'm super grateful for this opportunity, so again, thank you so much. I won't take up any more of your time, so sit back, grab a snack and enjoy. Damn it, Akashi. I freaking like you, okay? Well, what? I like you, Akashi. Bokuto whispered softly, feeling his cheeks heat up while the other continued staring at him like he'd grown another head. Akashi could not believe what was happening. In fact, he was beyond shocked. Bokuto-san, what are you saying? Do you realize what you just said? Bokuto nodded warily. I know what I said and I meant it. I like you. I just realized it a week ago and it's been messing with my head since then. Akashi stumbled backwards a little but regained his balance. With shaky hands he brought them to his flustered cheeks, closing his eyes. This isn't happening. Why is this happening? Is this a prank? Maybe he means it in a different way. Bokuto-san. Yes. Do you mean in a romantic sense? Akashi waited for Bokuto to shake his head or scrunch up his nose in disgust, but all he could see was a tiny smile on the other's face. Yeah. Akashi brought his hand to his temples, taking a deep breath. But Akashi opened his eyes, shifting his gaze to the frowning boy in front of him. It's okay if you don't like me back. I know you liked her. Bokuto tugged at the straps of his backpack. Akashi furrowed his eyebrows, feeling a sense of uneasiness rest in his chest. I don't like her. Bokuto's eyes shot open, whipping his head instantly towards Akashi's direction. Well, what? I don't like her. I don't think I ever did. Really? Then why did you go on a date with her? Because I was trying to move on. Move on? Akashi smiled faintly, his cerulean eyes meeting the other's golden ones. Bokuto-san. Akashi. Akashi paused. He didn't expect to be in this position anytime soon. It was unusual for him to be so unprepared. In fact, it was almost tantalizing to be filled with such uneasiness. I like you too. Bokuto's breath caught in his throat as he stared at the other with an indecipherable expression. Huh? I'm sorry, did you just say that you like me back? Akashi nodded warily. What? Akashi, for real? Yes, in fact I have for a while now. How long? I guess I always have. But I realized it when I found you under the table that one day and you asked me to practice spikes with you. Wow, that's so random. I guess. Then this is good, right? You like me and I like you. It should be. But. Akashi took a sigh, his heart lurching, and looked at the other, whose eyes were trembling with apprehension and fear. Please stop looking at me like that, Bokuto-san. It makes this harder than it already is. But you're graduating soon. Bokuto's eyes widened in realization. So? We would just have to FaceTime and text each other every day. Akashi smiled faintly, shaking his head slowly. Everything sounded like a dream. A blissful fantasy masking a painful reality. If only life worked that easily, Bokuto-san. Do you know why long-distance relationships almost never work? Why? Because every day turns into most days, which turns into some days, and eventually it's just a we need to talk conversation waiting to happen. Bokuto stayed silent, too stunned to speak a word. And that's why we won't work. Akashi, don't say that. But it's the truth. No, Akashi, you need to stop overthinking so much. Maybe, but don't you agree? We've got a long way to go to even think about long distance. Bokuto-san, you're graduating in 2 months. That's 2 whole months of dating. And then what? You'll leave and I just end up cleaning up the mess I willingly got into? No, I promise we'll figure it out. Come on, be realistic. I am. Bokuto's voice cracked as a bright shade of red dusted on his cheeks. Akashi's eyes widened as he stepped forward whilst the other instinctively took a step backward. Akashi, you're breaking my heart. Bokuto's tear-stained eyes pierced at the other's dumbstruck ones. Fuck, I made him cry. Please stop crying. Please. Bokuto-san. Akashi inched closer, bringing one of his hands to Bokuto's flustered face. But the other shoved him away lightly, staggering back a little. How can you say this so easily? Don't you like me too? Akashi felt his chest tighten, every vein in his body threatening to pop out of his system. He had absolutely no idea how to tell the other that he'd already had plenty of time to accept the wretched truth. I do. I've just had a lot of time to think about this. And besides, you just sprung this up on me out of nowhere, so I didn't expect to be making this speech. Bokuto scoffed, wiping his tears away. Well, I'm sorry I haven't had the chance to accept reality unlike you, and I'm sorry for troubling you with my confession. Bokuto turned around to exit the room, but a hand on his arm stopped him in his place. He slowly turned back around to see Akashi with pleading eyes. You didn't trouble me with your confession. In fact, I'm happy that you did. Really? Yes, you have no idea how badly I wanted to hear that from you. Then what's the problem? The problem is the fact that you're going away. So? It's not like I'm going off the face of Earth. Are you afraid that I'd lose interest in you? Because I swear. No. Then? I've seen this a million times and I know how this ends. Akashi whispered softly, his voice barely audible. I don't get what you're saying, Akashi. I don't want to get my heart broken falling in love with you. So I've been trying to suppress my feelings for you because I know that once you leave, it'll be the end for us. Silence filled the room, the tension in the air so thick it could have been cut with a knife. Neither of them spoke a word, nor did they remain eye contact as their wandering eyes traveled everywhere but to each other. Akashi's heart raced like the speed of light with every passing moment, his fingers trembling so incessantly. Fine. Akashi looked up at the other, who remained expressionless. What? If that's how you feel, then I can't do anything about it. And since you're the smart guy and I'm just the loud idiot, I can't argue with your logic. Bokuto took Akashi's hand in his, giving it a little squeeze. So I guess I'm giving you up. Bokuto let go of Akashi's hand, adjusted his backpack before walking out of the room in pure silence. So I guess I'm giving you up. That was precisely what Akashi had wanted Bokuto to do, but why did he feel his heart shatter into a million pieces hearing that? Unable to move, unable to scream, unable to think clearly, and unable to hold back his tears, Akashi felt his knees weaken as a hot stream of tears ran down his cheeks. What have I done? What am I doing? Was I too harsh on him? I should apologize. Shit, I fucked up big time. But I know I did the right thing. I know this isn't going to work out. Then why do I feel like I just trampled on his heart for no reason? A million thoughts ran through his head, all questions with no answers. Everything felt like a jumbled mess. No matter how much he racked his mind for a damn solution, he was left with no avail. But one thing was abundantly clear to him. He had broken both of their hearts before even any distance could. KG, you look like a mess. Did you not sleep well last night? Akashi's mother raised an eyebrow at her son as she placed a bowl of miso soup on the table next to a bowl of rice. Something like that. Akashi picked up a small portion of rice with his chopstick, sluggishly putting the food in his mouth. Is everything okay? Just peachy, mum. Akashi's mum flicked the back of his head playfully, prompting him to look up at her with furrowed eyebrows. You can't fool me, KG. What happened? Akashi drew in a deep breath. He was not interested in talking to anyone. Nothing happened. Then explain why you have puffy eyes. For a split second Akashi's eyes widened. I watched Titanic last night. There was a brief moment of silence before an eruption of laughter filled the room. You're such a crybaby, KG, just like your father. What was that about me? From afar Akashi could see his father walking towards his mother holding a briefcase with a raised eyebrow. KG was just telling me about how he cried from watching Titanic, and I simply reminded him that he was a crybaby like his father. Akashi's mother smirked, earning an eye roll from his father. Says the one who bawled at the fault in our stars and woke up my parents in the middle of the night. Akashi's mother gasped and slapped his father's arm. We don't talk about that. Well, I'm off to work now, I'll see you guys later. Akashi nodded. Okay, I've prepared a sushi bento for you. Great, I'll see you. Akashi's father gave his mother a kiss before leaving the house. You. Akashi grimaced, earning a glare from his mother. Shut up and hurry up. Your friend will be here soon. That brought him out of his trance as he looked at his mother, eyes widened. What? Bokuto. Don't you guys usually walk to school together? Akashi looked down at his soup, suddenly remembering the events from last night. I don't think he's going to be coming today. Huh? Why not? Did you guys fight or something? Akashi looked up with a faint smile on his face, shaking his head. Nothing of sorts, he just has something to do. Oh, alright. Akashi got up from his seat and put his dishes in the sink. Leave it there, I'll load it in the dishwasher. He nodded and went on to continue his everyday routine, sparing no effort to distract himself from the intrusive thoughts clouding his mind. 20 minutes later the doorbell rang, snapping him back to reality. I'll get it. He hurriedly walked down the stairs with confusion. Before opening the door he peeked a look from his windows to see who it was. His eyes widened as he watched a certain someone fretfully pacing back and forth in his front yard. Bokuto-san? What is he doing here? Akashi warily opened the door, revealing Bokuto with his arms behind his back, who looked like a deer caught in the headlights. Bokuto-san? What are you doing here? What do you mean we always walk to school together? Yeah, but did he already forget about last night? But what about last night? That's what you're trying to say, right? Akashi nodded. He closed the door behind him and walked down to where Bokuto was standing. When he got a closer look at the other, he could see dark circles under Bokuto's eyes. I guess he didn't sleep either, huh? Well, to be honest, I wasn't really gonna come today. Akashi felt a wave of warmth wash over him as he watched a tiny blush form on the other's face. Shit, he's so cute. But after listening to Noe for the 28th time last night, I came to a conclusion. What is it? Bokuto drew in a deep breath and brought his hands up to his chest, revealing a rose. Akashi's eyes perked up in shock, feeling his breath caught in his throat. What is he planning to do? I thought about it and you were right. It'll definitely be the end for us once I leave. Well, what if I just give up without putting up a fight? Akashi stayed silent as he watched the other walk towards him and grabbed his hand, placing the rose in it. I was laying in bed last night and you know what popped up in my head? What? Akashi breathed out, gripping onto the rose in his hand. How I hid under the table because no one wanted to practice with me. And I thought about it for a while. When no one would practice with me, Akashi would be the only one willing to. Whenever I felt hopeless during games, Akashi would be the only one to cheer me up. When no one believed in me, Akashi would. Akashi has always been the only one who's never given up on me, so why should I give up on him? Especially when I know that he likes me back. Bokuto-san, I'm not done. Akashi nodded slowly, letting the other continue. He was too shaken up to come up with a proper response. And I know that you don't want me to put up a fight because I know you're hurting too. He actually realizes it. God, I don't know how you kept your feelings for this long, I would have died. Akashi chuckled lightly. Little did Bokuto know Akashi was dying a little every day, keeping his feelings a secret. But Kuru told me that I shouldn't give up either. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that I still think it's a bad idea. I figured you would say that, and that's why I've devised a plan. Bokuto cracked a grin, the first one he'd let out in a while. A plan? I'm going to make you realize that it's actually a great idea and you're just overthinking. And how are you going to do that? With my charm, of course. Bokuto puffed his chest and ran a hand through his hair, earning a laugh from Akashi. The grin on Bokuto's face widened, seeing the other laugh so freely. I'd like to see you try. Oh, I will, just you wait and see. K, wanna get going now? Sure, I'll just go grab my backpack. Bokuto nodded his head vigorously as he watched the other walk into his house. Akashi rested his head against the door frame, catching his breath. Fuck, how is he so cute? Damn his stupid smile. And damn that stupid stubbornness of his. I guess I shouldn't be the one saying that though. I have to get my shit together. So he did make it after all. Akashi's eyes widened as he instantly whipped his head around to see his mother with a slight smirk on her face and a playful glint in her eyes. Mom, how long have you been standing there? For a while now. Shit, did she hear us? I'm kidding, I just got here. Oh. Well, I'm leaving for school, I'll see you later. Alright, but before you go, do you want me to put that rose in a vase? Akashi shifted his gaze to the rose in his hand and gulped. Oh crap, I forgot about this. I can explain. No need, it's your business, KG. Huh? That's it? Normally she's so nosy. Now Shu, you're gonna be late for school. Thanks mum. Akashi handed over the flower to his mother and grabbed his backpack from the floor. Just as he was about to open the door, however, his mother's voice stopped him in his tracks. It's about time. Akashi looked over his shoulder to see his mother putting the rose in a vase, smiling to herself. With a flustered face and shaky hands, Akashi opened the door and walked outside to see Bokuto feverishly typing on his phone, a huge smile plastered on his face. You'll eventually give up. But I won't ruin that beautiful smile of yours anymore. You'll realize it on his own, and when you do, you'll finally understand how heartbroken I really am.
Oh, yeah.
Bokuto-san, wake up. Akashi nudged Bokuto, who had been sleeping on his desk. Come on, I'm starving. Just 5 more minutes, mum. Bokuto muttered in his sleep, and Akashi flicked the back of his head. Oh. Finally you're awake. Bokuto rubbed his eyes and took a clear look at the person in front of him. Akashi. A huge smile formed on Bokuto's face, accentuating his deep, bewitching dimples. I'm sorry I dozed off. That's fine. Akashi smiled at him, exuding warmth and tenderness. Are you ready to go now? Yeah. Great. The both of them had jogged up to the school's rooftop, the place where they usually had lunch together, and sat next to each other. Once Akashi was done unboxing his bento, he shifted his gaze to the other, who had been sluggish, pulling his out from his bag. Kashi. Yeah? My mum said she made a meatball bento today, so take some. Oh, that's fine, thank you though. No, I know they're your favorite, take it. Fine, I'll take one. No, I practically begged my mum to make this for you. For me? Yeah, because I know you like them. Akashi's eyes softened as he let out a light chuckle. That's sweet of you, thank you. You're so formal, Kashi. Saying thank you is formal? Yes, from here on out I don't want any thank you between us. That's a weird request. No, it's not, we've been best friends for a long time now and you're still so proper with me. I'm not that formal though. You still call me Bokuto-san. And? You call me Akashi too. Bokuto's eyes perked up in excitement. OMG, you're right. Why aren't we on a first name basis already? Akashi stayed silent, regretting reminding the other of that fact. He wasn't prepared to call Bokuto by his first name. But more importantly, he certainly wasn't prepared to hear the other call him by his name. He was afraid of what hearing it would do to him. Anyways, did you know that Konoha owes Komi 100 yen for losing a bet? Kashi, I might be stupid, but I'm not an idiot. Well, what? I know you're trying to change the subject. Damn it, why does he have to be so smart? I don't know what you're talking about. Akashi mumbled as he swiftly shoved his bento box back into his bag, avoiding eye contact with the other. Oh, but you do. Don't you? KG. Akashi's hands had stopped moving as he stayed still, frozen in time. With his breath caught in his throat, his eyes bulging in shock, every vein urging to pop out of his body, and an immense rush of heat surging through every crevice of his face, Akashi felt like his heart was minutes away from leaping out of his chest. He slowly turned around to see the other staring at him with a cheeky smile. Neither of them said a word to each other, and after a brief moment Akashi could hear a roar of laughter coming from beside him. You should see your face right now, Kashi, it's so hilarious. Oh, I mean KG. Bokuto-san, stop calling them. No, you're KG from now on. Akashi drew in a deep breath as he stared at the other, his eyebrows furrowed. He doesn't even know the effect he has on me, does he? Fuck. Now it's your turn. Huh? Call me by my name. Bokuto-san. I know the other one. No, don't be so stubborn, KG. Look who's talking. Not happening. Please. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Bokuto pouted at Akashi. Akashi tried his hardest to not look at the other so-called puppy dog eyes, but alas, it was of no avail. Fine, I'll do it. Just stop looking at me like that. Akashi sighed as the other cheered loudly. Ignoring the knot in his stomach, Akashi looked at the other wistfully. It had always been Bokuto-san this, Bokuto-san that, but not once had he thought he'd have to call the other by his given name. Taking a deep breath, he let his eyes wander to every feature of Bokuto's perfect face. Akashi paused, feeling his heartbeat hammer down on his chest at a rapid rate. Kotaro. Akashi breathed out softly before averting his gaze to the ground instantly. A minute or two passed by with neither of them uttering a word to each other, letting the silence to completely seep into the room. Akashi looked up warily. But what he saw had caught him a bit off guard. Bokuto was sitting there with both of his hands covering his face. Is he? What's wrong? Akashi grabbed onto the other's hands and slowly removed them from his face, revealing a very flustered Bokuto with cheeks as red as a tomato. He likes it too, huh? Did that make you blush? Kotaro? Bokuto's eyes widened and he lightly smacked the other's arm. Shut up. What's the matter, Kotaro? Akashi cooed, slightly amused by the other's reaction. Oh, how the tables have turned. You know what, let's just go back to calling each other by our last names. Why? You don't like it when I call you Kotaro? No, I like it. Then? I just think you should stick with respecting your senpai. Bokuto huffed, shifting his eyes awkwardly. Sure thing. Senpai. Akashi's smirk widened as he watched the other's eyes widen for the millionth time that day. This is so fun. No, you know what, Kotaro is much better. Alright, Kotaro. Akashi let out a laugh which slowly died down once he heard the other yawn loudly. Are you sleepy? Yeah, I couldn't get any sleep last night. All because of me. Man, I wish they had a futon or something here so I could just take a short nap. Bokuto rubbed his eyes, letting out yet another yawn. Do you wanna? Do you wanna sleep on my? Akashi fiddled with his fingers, feeling embarrassed. Conversely, a huge grin was plastered on Bokuto's face. Really? Akashi nodded slowly. Yay, thanks KG. I thought you said no thanks between us. Oh right, my bad. Bokuto restlessly laid his head on Akashi's lap. Though both of their hearts were beating like a drum, the smile on their faces never ceased to leave. You sure this is okay? I don't mind. This isn't making you feel uncomfortable. Not at all. Are you feeling uncomfortable? Bokuto instantly lifted his head up, his gaze dead set on Akashi. No. I really like this. Good. Akashi pushed Bokuto's head back to his lap lightly. Hey, I'm gonna sleep now, wake me up when the bell rings. I will. It had been quite a while since Bokuto had fallen asleep on Akashi's lap. Unbeknownst to him, he had been strumming his fingers through the other's disheveled hair with a tint of smile laced on his lips. What are we even doing? This feels so right, yet so wrong. Akashi sighed wistfully as he stared at the other. Bokuto-san, are you awake? There was no movement from the other as he continued sleeping with a smile on his face. Akashi stayed silent for a moment before a frown had appeared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for hurting you so much last night. I know you must have thought I was angry with you, but I swear I wasn't. I really was happy to hear you say that you liked me back. I was just angry at life. At the fact that we only have 2 months together. I wish we could just stay like this forever. Akashi pushed a strand of hair from Bokuto's forehead. I wish you didn't have to leave. But most of all, I wish that I could be like Kuru, someone who's dating a guy younger than him, knowing damn well he'll be leaving soon but doesn't give a fuck about that. Akashi whispered as he rested his forehead on Bokuto's, ignoring the feeling of all of his butterflies being slowly tormented out of his system. I don't want to fall out of love with you.
Oh, yeah.
Almost a week had passed by, but Bokuto was nowhere near giving up. Every single day was filled with some kind of romantic act performed by Bokuto. From bringing a lot of home-cooked meals to writing sticky notes, Bokuto had been giving his all to impress Akashi, who unbeknownst to both of them had secretly been enjoying being showered with so much affection. It was Friday evening and practice had just gotten over. Once everyone had finished cleaning up, most of them left the gym and the only remaining ones were Bokuto, Akashi, Konoha and Komi. Can I have your attention? When do you not? The others snickered, earning a glare from Bokuto. Anyways KG, I'd like you to stay back for a little bit. What for? Because I have prepared a presentation for you. What? Boys, can you get over here? Sure thing, boss. Komi and Konoha walked over to where Bokuto was standing. What's going on? She'll find out in a minute. Okay. Are you guys ready? Not really. Yeah, me neither. That's fine, I figured you'd say that it's very difficult to capture my essence in just a few words. Sure. That's why I've prepared these flashcards for the both of you. Damn, he came prepared. Bokuto grabbed his bag from the floor and plucked out a pack of flashcards, handing them over to the two of them. As both of them scanned the things written on the cards, their eyebrows furrowed the further they read. So what do you think? Think you can manage it? Yeah, there's no way I'm saying this shit. Come on, you guys promised. To help you. Not to boost your already inflated ego. Please? Fine. Yay. KG, take a comfortable seat because I've prepared something for you. Sure. Okay, let's begin. So this is a presentation to show you why you should be dating me. Akashi face-palmed himself before shaking his head with a smile. And you guys are in on this too? We were forced. Akashi laughed at the poor Kouhei standing behind their senpai not being able to object. Hold on, let me get information. Bokuto had moved towards the center with the others following behind. He averted his gaze to Akashi and cracked out a huge grin. Okay, we can start now. The two of them nodded before clearing their throats. So the first reason to date Bokuto is that he's cute. Akashi swung his hand over his mouth trying not to laugh. The second reason to date Bokuto is that he'll love you even if you don't share your meatballs with you. The third is that you'll have an endless supply of Bokuto's cuddles. Tempting. The fourth is that he'll always hold you when you guys watch a scary movie. So does he want to watch The Conjuring with me then? Bokuto's eyes widened as he turned to Konoha and whispered something to him. Alright, so the fourth reason is taken off the list. Akashi let out a laugh and soon after the others joined him. The fifth reason is that he will never buy you anything sweet. Huh? Why? Yeah, why? Because that would be cannibalism. What? You are sweet KG. All three of them stayed quiet, two of them regretting their life choices and one of them reeling in reality. I have no words. I thought of it myself. I have no doubt in my mind that you did. Continue, guys. The two nodded their heads and shuffled their cards. The sixth is that he finally learned the hoedown throwdown dance. You did? I sure did. You're crazy. Akashi laughed uncontrollably, holding his stomach. The seventh is that since you're pretty and Bokuto's cute, you guys would be pretty cute together. Did you just copy and paste a pickup line you found online? A magician never reveals his secrets. That doesn't even. Keep going, guys. The eighth, wait, how many are there? Like 90 more, just keep reading. What the hell? Yeah, I'm out. Wow, you guys. Absolutely not. Himph. You're overzealous and sometimes a little unpredictable. Sorry, dude. At least read the last one. Fine, just the last one. Yay, thanks. And you flail around with no care in the world. I'm the 100th one. Konoha squinted his eyes at Bokuto, who just rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. The 100th reason to date Bokuto is that. But even when the world is unkind to you, you carry so much love in your heart. He'll be sad if you don't. Akashi stared at Bokuto, who had been fiddling with his fingers fretfully. He felt his heart melt as he continued staring at him with softened eyes. And that's why I love you. It had been 15 minutes since they'd said goodbye to the others and left the premises. They were walking down the bridge in pure silence, the moonlight cascading down on their faces. All of a sudden Bokuto had come to an abrupt stop as he turned towards the ocean below them, leaning his arms against the bridge rails. Akashi turned to him with a raised eyebrow. KG. Akashi stared at the other, who had his eyes set on the ocean. He still wasn't used to being called KG. Yeah? Do you think everyone will forget me when I leave? Akashi felt his heart lurch. Of course not. You'll always be a star to us. A smile formed on Bokuto's face and he turned his head to the other. You always know the right things to say. You're amazing. Akashi's breath quickened as he stared at the other, stunned. But you sure do know how to break a guy's heart, I'll give you that. Bokuto-san. Say Kotaro or I won't talk to you. Akashi nodded hesitantly. Kotaro. Yes. Even if I agreed to date you now, don't you think that it'll be impossible for us to maintain the same kind of relationship we'd have here when there's a huge distance between us? Especially when you could be happier with someone who'll be near you. There was a brief moment of silence as Bokuto continued staring at the ocean. You know me more than anyone else in this world. But sometimes, it feels like you don't know me at all. Akashi's eyes widened. He opened his mouth to say something but no words would come out. And that's fine. But what's not fine is getting swayed by every little thing. But this. Akashi gestured to Bokuto and back to him. Isn't a little thing. You're going away soon and you'd have other priorities. I just don't want to be an option among them. But most of all I don't want to be a burden to you. Stop. Haha. It can be 10 or even 100 years and I'd still wait for you. But don't you dare question my feelings for you. I wasn't quest. Yes you were. You calling yourself a burden makes me feel like you don't believe that I like you. It's not that. Then. I just don't trust myself. I don't trust that I'll be able to take the pain of losing you. KG. Kotaro. Do you trust me? Huh? Do you trust me? Of course I do. Then trust me when I say that I won't let you down. Trust me when I say that things will work out between us. But how? Aren't you scared? I am. But it doesn't matter because I have trust in the both of us. Akashi looked down at the ground gripping tightly onto the rails. Don't you trust your ace? I do. Then as the ace I have full trust in my setter. A few moments passed by before an eruption of laughter filled the air. Bokuto quickly turned his head to a laughing Akashi. What's so funny? Since when did you get so cool? Excuse your gorgeous face, I've always been cool. True. Bokuto lightly punched the other's arm before laughing along with him. So what do you say? Akashi took a deep breath before staring at the other's face, letting his gaze linger on his shimmering gold eyes. I think I'd like to give it a chance. There was no hiding the enormous smile plastered on Bokuto's face as he rushed to grab the other's hand in his. Really? Yeah, shouldn't the protagonists get a happy ending? Haha. Who? Us, Kotaro. We are the protagonists of the world. Bokuto blinked twice until the grin on his face widened. Damn right we are. Let's get going, shall we? Bokuto nodded vigorously, then intertwined their fingers together as they walked down the bridge. Hey KG. Do you wanna go on a date with me? I'd love to. Under one condition. Huh? I get to plan the date. Bokuto tightened his grip on Akashi's hand, blushing furiously. As long as it's with you I don't care.